Hello and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. We begin in Nigeria and a declaration of a state of emergency. President Goodluck Jonathan has taken the action in 3 northeastern states following a surge in violence related to Islamist militants. In a nationally televised address Tuesday, Mr. Jonathan said he is deploying more troops to Borno, Yobe and Adamawa states for what he called internal security operations.
I want to reassure you all that those who are directly or indirectly encouraging any form of rebellion against the Nigerian state and their collaborators, those insurgents and terrorists who take delight in killing our security operatives, whoever they may be, wherever they may go, we will hunt them down. We will fish them out, and will bring them to justice. No matter what it takes, we will win this war against terror.
Boko Haram has fought the Nigerian government since 2009. The shadowy group says it wants to impose Islamic law on the country's mostly Muslim north. Joining us now from Abuja, Nigeria, is VOA's Heather Murdock. Welcome, Heather.
Hi, thank you very much.
Now, very briefly, just tell us what this declaration translates into, the state of emergency.
Well, he's declaring an emergency rule in reaction to escalating violence by a militant group known as Boko Haram. Officials say Boko Haram's been around, as you said, for a few years, but it's changed recently. Officials say they're now using increasingly sophisticated weapons like anti-aircraft guns and RPGs. And now, most interestingly, they say they don't just attack, but they actually hold some territories, or at least de facto hold some territories in the countryside. And that's why he's saying they're threatening the country's sovereignty.
So the state of emergency means what? What does the government do next?
Well, President Jonathan ordered the immediate deployment of troops to the states that are impacted. Obviously, there's going to be a heavy military presence on the streets. He also said security officials will be prepared to seize houses or lock down entire neighborhoods they suspect to be associated with the militants. They'll also be searching and arresting people suspected to have illegal weapons.
You've been talking to people on the streets. What are they saying about this declaration?
Well, I spent some time on the streets today in Abuja asking people, and I got a really mixed reaction. Some people were really happy, and they were proud that their president was taking such a strong stance. Other people said emergency rule was declared last year, and it didn't really work. And still others said it could work if the military goes in and doesn't use heavy-handed tactics like killing suspects as opposed to arresting them.
Yes.
And then finally, some people were disappointed that the president does not seem really all that serious about peace talks.
Now, we know that, of course, the obvious line is that they want to form, Boko Haram wants to form an Islamist kind of state. But also there are those who say there are other underlying causes for this militancy. What is being said there?
Yeah, I mean, some people do say it's religious extremism, but outside of the group, a lot of people say there's several theories about why Boko Haram thrives, and a lot of people say that extreme poverty, unemployment, and there are loads of children in these areas that aren't in school have led to large amounts of desperate and unhappy young people with nothing else to do. Analysts also accuse politicians and other Nigerian elites of taking advantage of the situation by paying young people to create mayhem. In this case scenario, it's usually about politics.
Okay, thank you.
The theory is that they are powerful people who want to unseat the president by making sure that he can't lead in a peaceful country.
Okay, thank you very much, Heather Murdock there, reporting for us from Abuja, Nigeria. Now, for more perspective, we are joined in the studio by Fred Oladeinde, president of the Foundation for Democracy in Africa. Welcome to Africa 54, Fred.
Thank you very much, Vincent.
Now, you've been following the developments in Nigeria. What are you hearing? Why has it taken President Goodluck Jonathan first this long to make that kind of declaration? And how does this change the game?
I think the game changer here is the point that was underscored by President Jonathan in his speech yesterday, where he said that there are some sovereign intervention, people flying flags that is not Nigerian flag. I think this calls for a whole level of looking at this issue and being able to ensure that Nigerian sovereignty is protected. I lived in Nigeria during the last civil war, and so many lives were sacrificed to keep Nigeria one. And I think this must be a rallying point at this point in time to address political issues without infringing on Nigerian sovereignty.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's some who say they're delighted that the president has taken this kind of a move, but there's also a political dimension. How do the people in those states affected probably look at this kind of a move?
It's definitely my hope that the Constitution provides for that. And I think he's acting under a section of the Constitution that empowers the office of the president when there's national emergency like this to intervene and be able to, within a short period of time, bring law and order back where citizens' lives and property can be protected. Having said all of this, I think political issues and discussions need to continue, and that the government must continue to ensure that civil liberties and human rights are protected. But under no circumstances should any Nigerian at home or abroad be in support of foreign invasion of Nigeria.
Yeah. Now, we know that this insurgency has been going on for some time. What are some of the lessons that can be learned from the way the government has approached this issue so that going forward, they'll probably get it a bit better?
I think it is definitely holding the bull by the horn, if you may. There are political situations and issues that needs to be resolved, and I think the government needs to look for ways where institutions are already in place. The Senate, the Nigerian House of Assembly, they have very important role to play on this, and I also think the political parties need, at this point in time, to understand the, if you may, the enormous weight that now faces the nation Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest population in Africa, and also one of the driving engine of economic growth.
Thank you, Fred. We hope we get more time next time to expound more on these issues. Fred Oladeinde, President of Foundation for Democracy in Africa. Thank you for joining us.